Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. Hello, my name is Omar. Sorry about that. Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. It is Wednesday, March 13, 2019 at 3:53 p.m. in Toronto. So I am going to, first of all, show you today's tagging. And this is part of the experiment that I'm being subjected to. Part of the experiment that's run on me. And this is a microwave detector, of course, and I'm tagged. So this is today's sample of the tagging my jaw. And you notice it's not going off all the time. My air, the jaw, the arm, the other arm. And this has been going on all day. My thighs are tagged, and my thighs are really hurting. And just for people out there who are targets and have been targeted this way, massage do help. And I've tried aspirin, and of course I take aspirin for pain. And the aspirin seems to help the blood pressure as well when you're in pain. It decreases the blood pressure, maybe because it decreases the sensation of the pain as well. So my hands are burning right now, and the temperature underneath my arm. Let's do that again. 36.7. 36.5 is normal. 37.6. So this happens when one side of your body is pulsed more than the other. $36.7, an immediate drop. 36.7, the left side is stable. 36.7. 37.2. So if I were to, yeah. So that's why it went up, because the tag came on, and it's an on and off system. So when it's on, the temperature goes up. When it's off, the temperature immediately drops. 37.1. 36.9. Excuse me. I'm just wearing something that will show underneath the arm so that you can see there is nothing underneath my arm. So the tag is off, so the temperature 36.8. 36.7. So when the tag is on, it goes up to about 37 something. Okay, so that's one measurement. The other one is the blood pressure. And I took my blood pressure just before I started this video. And it was high because I was in pain all day and all night as well. Now, I am wearing magnets, so the pain level probably would not skyrocket. My blood pressure will not be very, very high, but I'm thinking it's still going to be high, higher than normal. So while I'm waiting, yeah, the jaw. The face, the head. So I'm being scanned, as I said. And I'm suspecting that I'm being scanned by more than one person because I heard the account is global. That's my thighs, my back. So my entire body is being scanned. And sure enough, the pressure is high. 144 over 88, 84 pulse. So the one before that was 141 over 78. And the one before that was 129 over 83, and that was 10:30 this morning. The one before that at 10:14, 138 over 88. So I'm just going to show you yesterday's pressure, because I went shopping yesterday and I was harassed relentlessly, and this was at 3:42 p.m. $3:35. Well, I'm sorry, this is a 1 hour off. So that's really 4:24, not 3:24. So this is the 11th. So the 11th, the power was not turned on high, as you can tell from the readings. So that's today's sample of the indications of my being scanned and tortured, basically, because those high numbers are pain. It reflects pain. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the tweets that I'm tweeting in the account ROSHINI911, and those tweets are mine. And I talked about being experimented on as part of the community targeting program. The community targeting program is in itself an experiment. It's an experiment in false imprisonment. It's an experiment in supposedly diversion and diverting people who's at risk. I was working full-time as an accountant going to University of Toronto, but I was flagged as a risk. Anyway, so this is what was the intention, I believe, of the targeting program. Now, of course, this is not what's actually happening. It's being abused, and it's being used to tunnel victims into the underground trafficking program, criminal organization, I should say, not a program. So you're flagged, you're artificially criminalized, you're mentally committed, you're locked out of the job market, and then you're given clients to show, to perform for remotely, and then of course physically, because you're customized. And as a sex slave, which is part of the training and part of this community targeting program that's being abused, it's training victims starting very, very young, starting with pedophiles, it's training them to be prostitutes and sex slaves. So you're given remote clients and you're customized remotely using remote technologies that are openly being used commercially, that can be bought on the commercial market. This is not military secrets. These are not military secrets. This technology that's being used, microwave technology for tracking and surveillance, this is very, very, very old technology commercially available. Putting voices in your head, this is commercially used, technology that's commercially used. This is technology that's being used by corporations where they're experimenting with beaming commercials into your head and putting chips in your body that facilitates the stores that you walk in to beam commercials into your head that is relevant to past shopping habits. So if you went to buy a pair of jeans of a certain brand, and you purchased it after looking and trying on a few brands. This information, not the actual shopping, but the purchase, will be recorded, and the next time you're in the store, you will be beamed commercials about that brand of jeans or maybe other brands as well. So anyway, I think you get the idea. This is technology, voice of skull technology, that is commercially used. These are not military secrets. So these technologies are being abused by traffickers, of course, who have money, billions of dollars. The industry this is like I'd say trillions of dollars in trafficking kids, and I think kids is a huge part of the trafficking, of course. And now I suspect that there is no difference between men and women being trafficked either, because we're living in a society where bisexuality and being gay is openly accepted. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's a fact. And so you're sold to men, you're sold to women. So these are clients. They go both ways. So they get victims, that satisfy both their needs. So men and women are equally trafficked. Boys and girls are equally trafficked. There's no difference anymore. So anyway, so let me go back to some of the tweets I tweeted about Rohini Besasa and what's going on in this building and how I'm being set up and framed to look like I'm mentally ill. There is no suicidal tendencies here. Absolutely none. However, I think the workers in this building, like the building superintendents, are portraying me this way, and this is how they're doing it. They're hitting me with microwaves like this, and they turn up the power to the point where there's so much pain that the reading in my blood pressure, the readings of my blood pressure, I should say, goes up to about 190 over 120, and I'm in extreme pain. And of course, if somebody slaps you for no reason and deny you the ability to fight back, tie your hands behind your back, say, and you can't fight back, will you get angry? And if you do get angry, how do you vent that? How do you get that anger out of your system? You vent. Well, this is exactly the same scenario that's being played out in this building. I'm being remotely attacked. I don't know who's doing it exactly. I have an idea. I'm suspecting. I know how it's being done. I know I'm feeling pain. However, the people who are supposed to be helping you are taking part in the torture and taking part in the trafficking, so you don't have any help there. So, what do you do with the emotion of being hit and being assaulted and raped, and nowhere to turn for help because nobody's going to help you because you're a target? What do you do with that emotion? Well, according to my therapist, venting is a good way to deal with pent up emotions. So I vent. So what happens is the workers will stand outside my window, trigger me intentionally, and the trigger to me is the cops are gonna come pick you up. That's a major trigger, and he uses it all the time, and other people in the loading dock as well, residents. He will say, "You're a effing whore." That's a huge trigger because I'm not a prostitute and never have been a prostitute. Stop effing yourself. He's referring to masturbation, meaning that he's looking at me inside my home and saw me masturbating. He would say things like, he'd call a name like John was living with you. He saw you in the bathroom. He saw you taking a crap. He saw you taking a shower. And he knows you head to toe. These are comments that will be inserted in conversations that you hold, which are really directed conversations, for me to hear and to be triggered. And when I am triggered, and combined with being hit with these remote technologies, and I deal with the emotions, the resulting emotions inside of my home, he records it and he takes it to a magistrate, and the magistrate will know that I'm a target. And this has been going on for so long that by now the whole world knows that Omar Rampersad is a target and a sex slave or being trained as one. The judge or the magistrate would know that. But I'm suspecting, since I haven't been picked up again, that the judges and the magistrates are refusing to sign these warrants because they know what's going on. I'm suspecting that's what's going on. That is what's going on. Or else I would have been picked up by now. But this is a frame, this is a setup that's being repeated in this building over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I talked about Rahini Bessasa, and I'm suspecting that she was put through the exact program that I was put through for the last number of years that I've been living in this building, which is close to 20 years. I started having heart palpitations in this building. And I'm suspecting the reason for that was because my heart was tagged. I was being tracked by the heartbeat, by the electromagnetic signature of my heart. So this is where, when I came in this building, there were other incidents that happened that I thought, well, they were very, very racist incident, and I thought, well, it's a different area. It'll take time to adjust, and I didn't think much of it. There were all kinds of nasty slurs on the walls and so on, like "Paki, go home." And at the time, the building was mainly the population in the building was mainly white. However, when the Chinese started coming in, the whole area became mostly Chinese. I'd say most of the other ethnic backgrounds moved out of the area. So, with the Chinese community, within the Chinese community, there are rings, trafficking rings, that also moved into the area when this happened. So, is it only Chinese problem? No, I don't believe so, because I was having heart palpitations when I moved into this building. So, and it was not all Chinese at the time. So it's not specifically a Chinese problem. I think it's a global problem The Chinese taking part in the program in this building because it just happens to be predominantly Chinese. They are traffickers in all ethnic backgrounds: Sri Lankan, Indian, Caribbean, uh, Russian, Polish. You know, it really doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter which country you're from and what ethnic background you're living in. What is the population or the major group of people in which you're living in with him. So this 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 crime affects every single country, every single economic group, every single group of various educational background, like Rohini Besasa. It really doesn't matter. It makes no difference how educated you are, how rich you are, what color of the skin you are, which neighborhood you're living in. It really, 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 which country you're living in, it really doesn't matter. Everyone is susceptible to this crime. Now, Rohini Besasa, as I said before, I believe was put through with this program, and I believe that she's in prison. She was framed. She was set up, and she was suspecting that something was going on. She was asking the questions. So if she had someone to investigate her case properly, I am strongly suspecting that the same program was run on her as is being run on me right now, as of today. And if that's the case, then you have an innocent person who's not really mentally ill behind bars for the rest of her life. If she had taken, I mean, she did take the knife and try to hurt somebody or hurt somebody, but she was driven to do that. She was incited to do that. She was triggered to do that. There was a set of psychological triggers that was built in, I'm suspecting, inside of her to make her commit that act. So of course she was not guilty. And I don't believe that she's not guilty because of insanity. I think she's guilty, or not guilty, excuse me, because she was psychologically triggered to do that act, to commit that act. Somebody else did it, in other words. It was just her hand doing it. But actually it was somebody else who made her do it. Talk to you another time.